I'm Caleb.
I'm Braden.
And this is Koresh Korner, where we will be talking about the cult leader, David Koresh.
So, David Koresh was born in Texas on August 17th, 1959. He had a pretty rough childhood, and his mom was only a teen, and that's when he really got into the Bible, which later led him to be a religious leader of the Branch Davidians, which would later go on and have a deadly standoff with the ATF and the FBI. So, kind of the political and social context of what they did. Politically, there were fears of domestic threat, and had authorities more closely monitored small religious groups, and that really led to a lot more tension. And then culturally, people were really cautious of religious groups just because of all this going on, and it was very difficult.
So his leadership, he really thought he was a religious messiah. His followers had to have perfect loyalty, controlling all the aspects of their lives, like marriage, parenting, and their property. He had complete control. This isolated the group where they had a compound, and then some strengths and weaknesses of his leadership was Koresh was very charismatic and made everyone believe that they had a purpose and he was delivering the message. And the weakness was just his control, his worldviews, rejection of intervention, his poor judgment. All that led to the downfall and his death.
So how he kind of shaped the world and how the world saw him. So they saw his evil leadership at Mount Carmel in Waco, and everybody saw the events of the 51-day standoff they had with the FBI and the ATF, and it led to a lot of distrust in the government agencies, and it drew attention to the tyranny of the government, how they just abuse power, and it provoked a lot of anti-government protests, and that also kind of led on to the Oklahoma City bombing. I know the guy who did that, he referenced that he said that Waco had a direct influence on it. And what lessons that can be learned from his reign, I guess, is that authority that goes unchecked is really bad, and mismanagement of conflict can increase dire situations. So
his legacy and global impact was that his evil leadership and the events of the 51-day standoff had lasting effects. It led to major government reforms, drew attention to other similar leaderships, and provoked an anti-government movement. Unchecked authority is bad. Mismanagement of conflict can cause crisis. So reflections are the cultural insight is how American cultures and religious freedoms and public safety had balanced each other. This is still relevant today. It shows the dangers of unchecked leadership and the importance of leaders being held accountable for their actions. And then the most important part is the connections to Macbeth. Koresh and Macbeth are similar, as they both are driven by ambition and desire for power, and their refusal to listen or reason led to their downfall. And there's themes of manipulation, corrupt leadership in both. And then our sources are credible, as we use official government records, major news outlets, and multiple first-hand accounts, including photocopy letters that David Koresh sent to the FBI during the 51-day standoff. But yeah, that's David Koresh.
Yeah, it is 3:13. So, and we got it. We made the 5-minute mark.